y'all! Welcome to another episode of Create This Book Too! Woohoo! It's been a little bit since I did my first episode of this, and I am very excited to be doing the next few, actually. I think I'm going to do a couple of these. But yeah, so I'm just going to jump right into it. This first page was called, or I guess the prompt was create a repurposing. So I had this gift bag that I am working into the design, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But for I guess the whole message of it, I wanted to write travel often, and calligraphy, hand lettering, yeah, that stuff. I have Tombow brush pens, and I had not been using them as much as I'd wanted to, so I was like, I'm gonna try to incorporate using those into this somehow. And honestly, I really like doing this kind of thing where I write the words a bunch, because it's hard to write them perfectly the first time, so I really like being in a situation where I can just write it a bunch of times and then pick the shapes that sort of fit well together, which is what I'm doing right here. So yeah, I just basically wrote it a bunch and am gonna cut it out a little bit nicer now that I've found ones that match together. But yeah, so that is what I'm doing here. I got the bag. We can talk about the bag now. I got the bag from, I think, Anthropology, and you saw it for a little bit in the opening of the video, and you are about to see it again, better. But it has all of these luggage tags. Yay, now you can see it. So it has all of these little luggage tag designs on it. Obviously, New York City, San Francisco, Chicago, Zurich. So I was like, oh, I'm obviously gonna do a travel theme with this, which is why I put travel often. But it was really cool because this bag was I think it was I received a gift in it, or it was the bag that Anthropology was using for clothes or something like that at that point. And I had kept it for a long time just because I thought the design was so cute, and I just couldn't bring myself to throw it away, which that's a thing I do a lot. There are dogs barking. Okay, of course they stop right where I sit when I say that. They started again. I swear to God, they only bark when I talk. Okay, sorry, focusing. Anyways, whoa, that looks really, really cool on camera. Look at that. Whenever it's sped up, I have super fast coloring skills. Not really, but oh, look at that, so cool looking. Okay, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be so amused by high-speed camera footage by now, but I still am. It's always so much fun to watch, even if it is just me coloring a piece of paper with a pencil. Yeah, okay, so definitely getting a little bit tired at this point, as you can tell by the waning coloring efforts that I was putting into it. And luckily, this is the last little bit. But yeah, this one I really, really, really liked how this overall composition turned out. I don't know, there's definitely a lot of pages that I've done so far that I am not happy with, or not nearly as happy with, but this one turned out super cool. And I think I had a little bit better of a design in mind when I started it, which probably explains why I'm a bigger fan of how it turned out. But yeah, so I just put packing tape over it to sort of like keep everything down, because a lot of times with like things like glued on like that, they always like to come up and whatnot, and I like to be able to just manipulate it and move it around and whatnot. So packing tape, it's like best thing ever, but it does make for more difficult time when you're watching it. Okay, so this next one, create integration. This one, okay, so this one's the other spread that I am really excited about how it came out at the end, I guess. But yeah, so this one was basically all about creating or integrating the line that was already drawn onto the page into a drawing, and I really didn't have too much of a like forethought on this, except for the fact that I just thought it would be kind of cute if it were like a shelf and there were like a bunch of little different like succulents and objects and that kind of thing on it. Just thought it would be kind of a cute design. So yeah, so this is like, it finished real quick, and then I erased it with a kneaded eraser so that whenever I went in with the colored pencil, it wouldn't muddy up the colors with the graphite gray, especially whenever you're trying to do like bright colors and pastels and that kind of thing, which, let's be honest, is pretty much the realm I live in. Yeah, so that would have been bad. That's why I erased it with kneaded eraser. In conclusion. It's not like I'm giving a book report. So much of drawing with colored pencils I have like a book that's called like the Colored Pencil Painting Bible, I think is the name of it. But it's really interesting because so much of like working with colored pencils is a lot like working with paints, where you're just, or especially oil paints actually, where you're really just like working with layers, and you're, layering stuff. Sorry, where you're like working with layers and you're layering things, and you're just going in with all like different colors to sort of build up these, shapes. There's a much better example of all of this whenever I was working on the cactus, but, this is good too. Actually, you can see here, I really like to burnish, use like the burnishing technique, which is basically where you do like a layer of color, and then you go over with like a layer of white, or like a color splendor, I think technically counts too, but I actually like to use white just because I like the opacity of it. I feel like it, I don't know, helps mix the colors a little bit better than the color splendor. So yeah, that's one of my favorite techniques to use with colored pencils. So you're gonna definitely be seeing a lot of that, and I like basically just lay in a light layer of color, a light layer of like a base color on all these things, and then I'll layer in like a light layer of another base color, and then I'll go back over and go back to the original first color, and then go back to the second color. And honestly, it ends up being a lot of pencil switching, but put on some good TV and you just don't even really think about it. It's actually kind of fun. And then you don't use up all of like one color of your colored pencils, which is very nice. Okay, and with those final touches, that just about does it for this particular spread. As I said before, I'm really pretty excited about how it turned out, especially the rock like geode thing. Well, the purple geode and then the like turquoise and purple one I think looks really cool. So yeah, I was really excited about this spread. Not much else I can say about it. But here I'm gonna just kind of look over some of the ones that I didn't necessarily film myself doing. I think there's like a couple of them. As well as reviewing the ones that I already did. So here's Milky Way. This is the first one I did. Here's Travel Often, Creative Repurposing. It's the one we did at the beginning of this episode. Yeah, just gonna get a real good look at it here. This Create Bleed. I did this on camera, but I lost the footage. I guess it got deleted. But yeah, you're supposed to like create something that kind of bled through. So I kind of created this really bleedy background, and then I put this elephant on it that I drew. So yeah. That about wraps up for this episode. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!